You built your business here. You're shaping a life, creating a legacy. We only have one question. What will you make next? Make more possible. National Bank of Commerce.
I'm John Garber with Yellow Jacket Athletics, and it's time to take a lap, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. This week we're joined by Ty Proffitt, a senior on the Yellow Jacket men's hockey team. Ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. So I can remember back when you made a recruiting trip here and you sat in my office, we chatted for a while, and now you're a senior. How fast did this go?
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. It feels like just yesterday I came up here and Rich took me around campus and got a feel for the place, and I fell in love with it right away.
What's the experience been like?
It's been a unique one. I mean, going through COVID and having to deal with those uphill battles, but finding a way to just get through it and manage the school aspect of things as well with the sport aspect. It's been fun though.
You're a Fairbanks, Alaska native, so it's Alaska, a unique place. You used the word unique earlier. It's a unique place. Talk about what it's like growing up there, because it is kind of isolated, and you know the joke being winter 11 months out of the year. So talk a little bit about the upbringing.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a town similar to this one. Everybody knows everybody's name, kind of like the show Cheers, right? Like, but you fall in love with the place. It's a beautiful area, mountains, rivers. I mean, I grew up hunting and fishing and playing hockey. That's all I've ever known. So moving from a place like that to a place like this where it's pretty similar is a pretty fun experience to have.
Talk a little bit about the outdoors aspect of it, because I feel like every time, like every road trip, you typically will sit right behind me on the bus and you've always got some hunting or fishing stories. So give us one very unique hunting or fishing story from your lifetime.
I mean, my first caribou this year, I was fortunate enough to get drawn to go on a caribou hunt before I came back to school, and was fortunate enough to harvest my first caribou. And it's something I take pride in, respecting the outdoors and using it as a tool to feed my family and as well share with my friends down here. I mean, I try to bring back stuff from back home to let them experience a little taste of it.
Talk a little bit about what was it like growing up with the extended winter darkness up there?
Yeah,
you know, because I know it's probably not as long. It's 8 months, the sun never comes up. No, that's not true, but it is a very short day up there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you go to school in the morning, it's dark. You go out for recess as a kid, it's light, and then you go home and it's dark. So you kind of get used to it a little bit. I wouldn't say you get completely used to it. I think the more unique thing about being from back there is the 24 hours of sunlight in the summertime. I mean, it looks like it's noon at midnight.
Right.
So you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want to in the summer, and that's why we live there in Alaska, we battle the winters to experience the summers.
You played junior hockey for a team that your dad coached, your dad owned, and I know there's a really funny story about when you were traded. So tell me the story about when your dad traded you.
Yeah, so my first year junior, we were on the road, and I got notified that I was going to be released from the team and sent down, and my dad called me from a different phone number while we were on the road and kind of explained to me that I was being released. And then 2 seconds later, he gives me a call on his cell phone and says, "Hey Ty, it's Pop, what do you want to do?" So he always kept that separate, and I appreciate that, and will always have respect for the fact that he did that. And yeah, it was a unique experience, but I'm glad I had that.
It's kind of cool too, the background of kind of in some ways, the first family of hockey in Fairbanks, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty fortunate to have the last name that I do, being from that town. My dad played pro hockey up there in the 90s, and then after he was done playing pro, he started the Ice Dogs, and it's an organization that demands respect. If you hear that name in junior hockey world, you know that you're going to a place where you're going to have fun and demand respect from everyone around you.
I'm John Garver, he's Ty Proffitt, and that's a lap, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce.